Hi, it's Elder, and in this video we are going to talk about page URLs. So another very important thing we can do to make our website more discoverable and, well, ranking higher on Google is to make the links, URLs for a website, short and descriptive. And what I mean by that is you should try to avoid using the unrelated words, some random numbers and random characters, which will make your URL, first of all, look not professional, and, well, it won't be very good for your SEO performance as well. So let's say that we are building the website for our web design company, and the SEO title of this page will be something like the best web design company in the world, and the name of the company, something like that, company. So this is the title of our page. So when we're setting the name for this page, we should not type all of these letters into the page name, or basically URL. We should make it short and descriptive. So as you know from the Google Trends video, the most popular keyword for web design industry is web design company. So try to do that. So web design company. And what it will do, it will create the HTML link for this URL link for this page, which will be just web design company. And it will be, first of all, easier for users to recognize and to read. It will be better for your SEO and will look more professional. Not to mention that because it is the keyword which we researched in the previous video, it will also help to drive the traffic to your page. So another thing I would recommend is try to avoid using capital letters in page names. And I think it's more related to the Blocs, not any web design tool, because I think last year I noticed the problem with Blocs websites is when I create the page. So let's say I want to add the about page to my website, and you can see that I'm typing the small letter from the beginning, but before I was just typing the capital letter at first, so about, something like that. You can see that the page name is starting with a capital letter, and when we export this, let's export this project to HTML files to our desktop. Okay, new site. So when we check the files in the Finder, you can see that the about page is starting with the regular small letter and not the capital one. But a few weeks later, I noticed that Google Search Console, which I will actually talk about in later videos, was giving me a lot of errors, and these errors were related to the missing pages, and it was saying that I have a missing page with a name about.html. I know that I have a page about.html, but it was starting with the small letter when it comes to URL, and it was only the big letter when the big capital letter when we were inside Blocs application. But for some reason Google was giving me two different pages, about starting with the capital letter and about starting with the small letter, and it was driving me crazy. So from now on, from actually last year, I always type only small letters. So I always type that, and when I export it, it will be the same small letter as we have here, and Google will not give me any error messages at all. So, and to make sure, I'm not talking about the SEO title. You can have as many capital letters and in your SEO title as you want. Like I have here on this page, you can see that I can easily put the capital letters here and it will look great. But for the page name, for the URL, use the small letters only. And finally, you know that in Blocs app we have a few extensions we can choose from when exporting our website. So by default it is set to be, I think, HTML. So let's go to project settings. We can use HTML, PHP and HTML. And well, I'm mostly using the HTML because it is set to this by default. But for SEO, it might be even better if we start to use the clean page URLs. And you can see that here on export settings, we have this new option. It was added a couple of versions back, so it's not the old feature, so maybe not everybody are used to this, but if you select that and then export the project, it will give us the files which will have the folder structures inside folders, and at the end of the day it will result in the cleaner URL. So instead of eldargazalov.com/about.html, you will have eldargazalov.com/about. And I think it looks more professional and it's easier to well, both Google and the visitors when they are trying to find your website. So let's try clean. And if we go to desktop here, you can see that we get the folder instead of the file. And inside this folder, we will have the index.html file. So basically, this will allow us to get rid of this extension at the end of our URL. To summarize, try to use short and descriptive URLs, avoid using the capital letters in your page names inside blocks, and use the clean page URLs when you can. So that's it for this video, and I will talk to you in the next one.